I have a pending VAWA case, but I got all my receipt notices. But I'm actually on my final process of my divorce right now with my ex-wife right now. So I wanted to find out, can I still get remarried even when my VAWA case is still pending?
Yes, you can still get married even though your VAWA case is still pending. Just your ex-wife, your new wife, can't file for you until your VAWA case is resolved, one way or the other.
Yeah, my new wife is she is a permanent resident.
Okay, yeah,
So
you can absolutely get married. It has no effect on your VAWA.
Okay, so I don't have any issue with that, right?
No, nope.
Okay, cool.
All
That's
right.
fine.
Okay, enjoy.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your marriage.
Thank you.
Enjoy your new wife. Enjoy
Okay,
LA.
thank you, sir.
But you're not in LA. Dallas, Texas. He's in Dallas, Texas.
My brother filed his I-485 last September, and they sent him a courtesy letter saying that he didn't send in his I-69-3 and said that he shouldn't send it until he gets his interview date. But his interview date's been pending since March 5th. So should he wait to file it or not?
Well, if you're talking about the medical, and you gotta follow what they tell you to do. They say bring it to the interview. You bring it to the interview. All right. So don't think that anything has changed since then. They're not scheduling him an interview not because he didn't submit his medical. It's just they're delaying everybody. You have two choices. If you have filed an adjustment application anywhere in the United States of America, and your case is pending more than 12 months, you have two choices. You can, and it has nothing to do with the medical. You bring the medical at the time of the interview. But in terms of your choices now, because he's at 12 months waiting for his adjustment, you can sit on your hands and wait for them to schedule, and maybe he'll be scheduled next week, next month, in a year or 2 years, who knows? Or you can file a mandamus and he'll be scheduled in 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, thanks. And one more thing. Is he able to file the I-130 for his daughter at the moment, or should he wait?
How old is his daughter?
9 years old.
Okay, his wife can file the I-130 for the daughter, not him.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is it possible to have two I-765 with immigration? And the reason why I ask that, currently I have a work authorization through my pending asylum, and it expires the end of October. Now, my wife has filed in for me the I-130, the I-485, the I-765 under the green card application.
Right, C9.
But and she just filed that in. I've done my biometric, everything. So she just did that last month. I've done my biometric. But my work authorization under my asylum expires the end of October. And I know that it's going to take between 3 to 6 months. I was looking at the processing time on the immigration website. Is it possible to go ahead and file in another I-765 under my expiring asylum so that I will get the automatic 6 months of renewal?
Well, you're going to get the automatic 6 months of renewal anyway, because you've already had a work permit. So my position is that you're entitled to work anyway because you're renewing a work permit, but just literally under a different section of law. And you have to withdraw the asylum case, and you have 180 days. As long as you bring in a receipt to your employer and say, here's my receipt for my work authorization, under the law, you're entitled to work an extra 180 days, and you withdraw the asylum case because you can't get through on adjustment until your asylum is withdrawn.
Okay. So as it is right now, I should just wait until my work authorization under my asylum expires next month, or should I go ahead and submit on I-765 under the asylum?
No, I know what you want to do, but once you file an adjustment, that's the end of the asylum. So you got to withdraw the asylum. We got to withdraw it because your adjustment's going to be denied otherwise. Withdraw the asylum. You have a receipt notice for the I-765 on the marriage case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is your extension for 180 days.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I have a receipt. So then how do I withdraw the asylum? Should I just write them?
You write them a letter. You write them a letter and tell them you filed an adjustment, you're withdrawing the asylum.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to Abdul. Abdul.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
I hear you. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know what happened. The line went off the last time.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I've been a regular caller of your show. You've been very helpful to me
Thank you.
through my immigration proceeding. You've been very helpful. You saved me a lot of money anyway.
Oh, wow.
Well,
I saved Abdul a lot of money just from listening.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it, man. Yeah.
This is my question. I'm at the end of my journey. I'm having my N400 interview in a month's time, and I filed in my I-751 last year, February. I did my fingerprint in April, but as of today, I've not gotten any information. It's not been updated. It just stays on fingerprint, but I'm scheduled for N400 interview now. So I don't know, what do you think is happening? I don't know why.
Go on your interview. They have to make a decision within 120 days of your interview. If not, you bring it into federal court. That's exactly what you do. Don't worry about what's on the computer. They got to you go on your interview, you qualify for citizenship. They got to make a decision in 120 days. If they don't, you bring them into federal court on a de novo review. That is the only thing you got to think about.
Okay, but people keep saying that they might have a combo interview or something like that.
Oh, because you're also removing the I-751? I didn't hear that part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They're going to have a combo interview. Absolutely.
Oh, so they're going to have it. So I should be prepared for combo interview.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I'm concerned about.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you also had an I-751 pending.
Yeah, it's still pending.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
My husband have a green card. He's been living here for 6 years now. I got mine from him.
Okay.
And last time we have an argument, and he punched me in my eyes, and I had a bruise.
Right.
And I went to the police station, and then I was crying and everything, and I told them that he punched me. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. They made a police report, and they took some pictures, and they asked me if he'd done that before, and I said yeah, and I said that he also
did he get convicted of domestic violence?
Yeah.
He's going to get deported.
For assault. Yeah, I know. For assault and battery
But honestly, okay, nobody deserves to be in an abusive relationship. Nobody deserves to be hit or punched. So I don't feel so terrible for the guy.
I understand that, but also I'm not gonna press charge. I don't know if that's gonna make any difference.
No,
I don't know.
It won't make a difference because the district attorney can still prove the case with your police report and the pictures by the cops. Okay, because it's not you pressing charges; it is the people of the state of Massachusetts, because that's where you live, who are pressing the charges. Now, the district attorney may have a harder time proving the case if they need your testimony about what happened, but they can move ahead with the case, with or without you. So it's not like you could say, I'm going to drop the charges and now he won't get deported, or now he won't be found guilty of something.
I'm not going to testify, but I know they can move forward without that.
And by the way, they can threaten you with criminal contempt of court or filing false police reports or all sorts of things if you don't cooperate with them. So the district attorneys can do things to force you to testify as well. What I would suggest you do, Valerie, because this is really a criminal case right now. You're the victim in a criminal case, and you also have a family issue between you and your spouse, and you're concerned about. I think this is something that goes well beyond a public conversation. I think you need to speak to an attorney privately.
I had my I-130 filed in 2015, and it was approved. So I did the adjustment of status paperwork in 2016. And I had an interview of May 2017. But because of my spouse, was very abusive and stuff, I went into the interview by myself, and the officer was kind enough to reschedule.
Did you ever file a VAWA case?
When I went back, I did the VAWA.
Okay.
I went back in a second time, and I did the VAWA in September 2017. And now this month, in July, it has been approved.
Good.
And I have my daughter as a derivative. At the point when I did the paperwork, she was 17, but now she's 21. Will there be a problem with her age? Do she need to file on her own?
No. She'll still be included.
What are the next steps?
She'll still be included.
Okay, and are we considered still what is it, F2A or F2B?
No,
Do I have to wait for priority date?
No. She's going to be derivative on your case.
Okay.
So she's fine.
All right.
All right.
So what I'm saying is, since I have a priority date of October 2015, do I need to wait until that date is available, or am I immediate family?
Is your husband a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
No, your immediate relative. That's why when it was filed in 2015, your daughter's age was frozen. She was under 21 at the time, so she's fine.
Okay.
All right.
How long do you think I need to wait, or do I need to take a leave?
You need to file an adjustment, and I would do it immediately because I don't even know if VAWA is going to be around next week.
No, I have a pending adjustment of status.
Okay, so then
I have that.
Yeah, all the VAWA cases are on hold pending on what's going to happen with Congress.
Okay.
All right, so just hang in there.
All right.
So I'm a little bit happy today because last time I called you was to know about my EAD. So I did a little research, and what I did was I kind of, expedited my EAD because I got offer later for working, and I just thought of expedited through congressman, and that got approved. Like within 4 days, they just replied, and my EAD got approved, and I got in hand, which was like June 17th.
Good.
And kind of because I expedited this thing, my interview got scheduled very soon after that. My interview was 29th of August.
Right.
And I attended interview, and we are in same-sex marriage, so that interview got approved, and I've already got my green card for 2 years. Mm-hmm. I just thought I'll let you know because your show has helped me a lot, so
thank you.
I kind of felt like I need to inform you.
Congratulations. That's wonderful. Yeah. It actually makes me feel really good that you watch my show, you take my advice, you do what you need to do, and you went through it, and I helped somebody that I have never met before in my life. And you're better off for it. So I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the time to call, and congratulations to you. You deserve it.
I got married before the 90 days. I never know anything about it.
Right.
So I'm wondering what I should do, if I should go ahead and file for my papers.
Yes, you got no choice because you already did it. Go file for your papers, and just know we're going to need to do a good waiver, and you're going to need to have a good lawyer.
What kind of waiver?
You need a waiver because if you get married within the first 90 days of your entry into the United States of America, that's a misrepresentation. Yeah. Misrepresentation is synonym for lie. You lied. You said you were coming to visit and you got married and you want to get a green card. So now that is a reason to deny your green card. So what you do is you show up with a waiver. I would like to waive the section of law that says I get denied. And you do it based on hardship to your spouse, hardship to your family that's here, your parents, if you have parents here, that they would suffer an extreme and unusual hardship if you were not granted your green card and you got deported and had to go home.
Oh, so could I let you handle the case for me?
Yes, hold on one second.
I filed I-485 for my wife in April, and she's on a K-1 visa, and we're in September right now. We was expecting for the EAD and also what's the advanced parole.
Right.
But we ended up getting an RFE stating that she abandoned the 131 by leaving the country, but she's been here the entire time.
So they think she left and she didn't.
Correct.
All right. So then they're going to deny her adjustment too because they're going to say she left when she didn't. So you're going to need to have a lawyer take a look at this and prove that she's been here this whole time.
Okay. My lawyer was saying something along the line. I just want to get a second thought.
Sure.
Like to, take a few pictures at the United States government, U.S. Postal Services, and things of that nature.
Well, that's pictures to prove it's a bona fide marriage. I mean, and you should be taking pictures as you go through life. But what we're going to have to prove is that she was physically here all this time. That's going to be done by affidavits. You can't take pictures in the past. So we got to, prove she never left. They made a mistake.
No. I mean, we have a list of pictures.
Yeah, but in other words, taking a picture at the post office tomorrow doesn't prove she left yesterday. The government says she left yesterday, so we got to go in the past. You can't make that up, so we just got to prove it.
So I know you always talk about mandamus. Is not the right time to file one of those, or
not yet. But in this particular case, it would. If we were to file a lawsuit, it would be an APA claim that they're not following their own procedures. But we first have to prove your wife didn't leave the country because they have evidence that she did. So we got to find out what is that evidence that she left, and then we got to counter it.
Oh, okay. Because I was just confused because I'm they can track the I-94 and things of that nature, and
right.
It's just a bummer because
I don't know what evidence they have. If she leaves in other words, they are correct in the assumption that if she did leave the country, that's the end of her K visa, that's the end of your adjustment, she's ineligible for everything. But if she didn't leave, we just got to prove it. But before that, they got to come and say she left and this is the evidence that they have. I don't know what evidence they have, so we would have to take a look at it and see. So hold on one second. If you want a second opinion, you probably need a consultation, so hold on.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
I came here in 2017 on a J1 visa, and I got married June 21st of this year, but I lost my DS to 2019.
Okay.
And I want to adjust my status, but they say that I have to do a waiver, a J1 waiver.
Do you have a 2-year home residence requirement?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then, yeah, before you file the adjustment, don't even bother filing the adjustment. You need to do a waiver of the 2-year home residence requirement first.
But my question is, I lost my DS, and the company that sponsored me is shut down, so I have no way of getting back my DS. How can I go about doing that?
Well, the sponsoring company shut down?
Yeah, the sponsoring company shut down.
Well, we can always do a Freedom of Information Act request and get a copy of it. It's not the end of the world. But that's very surprising that the sponsoring company would shut down. But hold on one second, okay? Because usually companies go through a third party to get it, and they don't really generally do it themselves. All right, because in other words, when you do a J visa, the company has to be pre-approved by USCIS to do a J visa.
Yeah.
Spar and Bernstein. Let me tell you, I've never done a J visa for anybody in my office. Nobody ever worked here on a J visa. Let's say I wanted to do a J visa. I'm not pre-approved. Spar and Bernstein's not pre-approved to do a J visa. I would have to go through a third company that's pre-approved, and then they would be the sponsor to come do the internship or whatever program at Spar and Bernstein. That's generally how it works. So it's very rare that the place where you worked on the J was also the J sponsor for the DS. But if it was, it was. Okay, I don't know. All right, but we'll get either way. We'll do it for you and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second.
I've been a permanent resident holder pretty much all my life, and I want to file I think it's the N400.
Yes.
Would owing student loans or like speeding tickets within the past 5 years affect anything?
Student loans does not affect. Speeding tickets do not affect unless you actually got arrested and brought down and fingerprinted and everything.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. Being a bad driver does not prevent you from becoming a citizzen. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
And having debt doesn't prevent you from becoming a citizen. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
When you're filing the adjustment of status, in order to, when you don't have any bills to show that you and your spouse are paying bills together, you have to get a letter from the landlord. We don't have a good relationship with our landlord. Is it good for us to write a letter by ourselves?
If you pay the landlord a check, you could say, "Here's your rent check," but before I give it, just sign the
But we don't have.
Prepare a letter.
We don't have our name.
So just
we don't have both names on it.
So fine, just prepare a letter. You could say, "I rent the." I don't know what your husband's name is. Let's say your husband's name is Mark. Okay, I rent an apartment to Mark. I rented an apartment to Mark, and my records indicate that Mark and Judine live there together. Period. 2 sentences.
Yeah, but what if they come by and ask him if he wrote wouldn't that be fraud?
You wrote the letter. He's signing it. That's not fraud. I'm not telling you to go sign his name. I'm just saying make it easy for him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We don't have a good relationship with him.
Don't bring a landlord letter. I mean, you got to bring something. So if you don't, then get bills in both your names.
Well, do we have to send them in now with the paperwork?
No. You bring them at the time of the interview.
Okay. Also, my next question is: when you hire a lawyer, can your lawyer receive your mails?
Yes.
Like your green card and so.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to know. So it doesn't have to come to an address that you live?
No, the lawyer can get it.
Okay, all right. Thank you. That was it. Thank you very much.
I was married on March 2016. So I never filed my adjustment of status till 2017. But I went for my interview on May 2019.
Right.
So what happened was the attorney I hired never came. So on my verge of going into the interview, so he sent someone else to represent me on his behalf. So when I went in there, so I denied the attorney who came in there because I wasn't comfortable with him. My wife also denied the attorney, like, we don't want him.
Of course
because
not.
He was not even...
He doesn't know anything about you. He should have at least prepared you for an interview. I don't blame you. You're
okay,
right.
So because they asked him for G28, he never had it, so I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So, but anyway, they asked us some questions. We answered, me and my wife. But my problem and my question is this: I drive a truck with a moving company. I'm barely at home. Like, I'm always moving around. And my wife, whenever is tired of being home, she went out to be with my family in Dallas. But I'm using my address in Houston. So I'm trying to see, like, when we file a tax, our tax was showing in Dallas. But instead of the house I'm living, because I'm always out.
Samuel, you and your wife got to live together. Bottom line, I can't help you if you're in one city and she's in another. Immigration is not going to look positive on that. And you can't say, you know, you live where you're not living. You and her got to live together. It's the bottom line. Everybody has to figure this one out, okay? And I'm not even saying you, to everybody. What's more important than a job, what's more important than making an extra couple of bucks, is straightening out your immigration status. To straighten it out through a marriage, you and your spouse must live together in the same home. You must have a financial relationship. End of story.
Yes.
I can't help you otherwise. So figure it out. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.